New findings from Brigham Young University suggest that kids will focus up to 30% more when they are praised for good behavior. That's instead of being punished for being disruptive. Science shows that praise activates certain brain chemicals responsible for focus, planning, and problem solving. Well, so many of us, of course, looking forward to the Super Bowl this weekend, and youth sports safety advocates are taking advantage of all the hype and launching this educational program.
You got this.
Good.
Hey, you all right?
Now, that's a glimpse of the new virtual reality crash course. It teaches kids what concussions are and why they matter.
And we kind of realize that if athletes aren't speaking up for themselves, they're their own best advocates.
Now, Dr. Dan Daneshvar is a brain expert and helped develop this course. He says the reason it works is because it's fun and engaging, and says oftentimes that trainers and coaches might not notice possible symptoms, but a teammate will. And he also says with every concussion, it's different, and if it goes untreated, the person is more at risk of getting a second concussion from a smaller impact and more prone to other injuries.
Because a concussion has symptoms associated with vision issues or memory problems, you're not playing as well as you otherwise would. And while that's an issue on its own, that also means that you're not aware of your body as much as you normally should be. So you're actually at a significantly increased risk of orthopedic injuries to the knees, to the legs, to the arms.
The new virtual reality version of Crash Course was made available to Pop Warner and USA football teams. Now, it's free for download for anyone in the Oculus store, and there's also a traditional video version free for anyone on YouTube. The Army recently changed its fitness tests for the first time in 40 years. Tomorrow, we're getting an inside look at those new requirements and how they're preparing soldiers' minds and bodies.
Well, we've had a lot of clouds, and we have a lot more cloud cover coming our way here the next few days, and a gradual warming trend. Those temperatures will get back into the 40s by Friday. Small chance for a wintry mix on Saturday, and then the big warm up on Sunday, with highs making their way into the 50s. Thanks for joining us for the Now Indy. The news at 6 starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, Vic is back. Victor Oladipo just walked onto the court at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. He is about to see his first game action in more than a year. Team coverage in moments.
A Tri-West High School teacher formally charged after allegations of an inappropriate relationship with a student. I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny. We're talking to parents who say this district needs to clean house.
The clouds remaining locked in place across central Indiana. When we'll see a few breaks and if this system will bring us any snow.
A month after a crash killed a woman and injured her husband, a dog from that vehicle is still missing. The urgent search going on, and for the first time, we speak to the dog's owner.
But first at 6 o'clock here, breaking news. Northwest Hendricks County Schools is now taking action to fire a teacher charged with child seduction and obstruction of justice.
And Tyler Bruce is accused of sexual misconduct with a student. Prosecutors today have also now charged a former Tri-West High School principal with failing to properly report the allegations involving Bruce and the student.
Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny joining us now with the latest developments tonight. Kara.
Thank you, Mark. We just got this statement from the district saying Tyler Bruce is now on unpaid suspension effective immediately, and they will now take steps to terminate the teacher. Adam Benner already resigned as principal of Tri-West back in June. And according to court documents, Benner was made aware of the allegations involving Bruce back in February and didn't report it. Today, we spoke with parents who are demanding the board step down. Tyler Bruce is accused of talking to a 17-year-old student via text and Snapchat and soliciting illicit pictures from her. He's also accused of touching her underneath her clothes on several occasions. And when investigators closed in on Bruce, they say they discovered he had removed the SIM card from his phone, which is why Bruce is also charged with obstruction of justice. The school board voted to keep Bruce on paid administrative leave since July, and he's now been racking up tens of thousands of dollars in compensation.
We've got to stop the bleeding now.
Parents and concerned citizens are calling for the jobs of Bruce and board members.
Okay, school board, you need to step out, step back, resign, do what you're supposed to do, and then we need to get a better, not just a new group of folks in there that can focus on the safety of our kids and the quality of the education.
Court documents outline how the school knew about allegations involving Bruce and the 17-year-old back in February. Detectives could not find any evidence that the Tri-West principal at the time, Adam Benner, talked to Tyler Bruce about the allegations. Benner resigned in June just as the criminal investigation into Bruce was starting. Benner is now charged with a misdemeanor for failure to make a report. 2 board members are up for re-election this fall, including Craig Peoples and board president Jim DiAgostino.
So they either need to tender their resignation or we'll vote them out.
We caught up with DiAgostino in November.
DiAgostino, what's your response to the request to resign?
You can talk to our communications director.
But you're an elected official.
You can talk to our communications director.
This tight-knit community is suffering emotionally and financially because of the Bruce matter, and they say the only way to move forward is to clean house.
I mean, it's torn the community apart. I mean, there's so many people, you know, at each other's throats over this, and it's sad.
This is a great school system. We just have a few bad apples that we need to get rid of and make it better again.
Bruce has denied the allegations and Benner has not responded to us. The district says they've given Bruce notice his teaching contract will be canceled with the district, and a spokeswoman tells us the safety and security of our students is our foremost responsibility. We look forward to strengthening our community partnerships to protect them while providing the best possible education. Mark.
Kara, thank you. Central Indiana is buzzing tonight.
And that's because Victor Oladipo is back.
Oladipo has missed a whole calendar year because of a major injury. Now the feathery one is set to make his return in less than an hour against the Chicago Bulls at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
And that's where we have team coverage tonight. Sports director Dave First and Brad Brown live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Hey guys, I'm sure a lot of very excited Pacers fans out there tonight.
Yeah, they opened up the gates about a half hour earlier than usual and didn't take very long for this place to fill up or start filling up. Hard to believe, though. Has it really been a year since the accident?
You know, it was one of those things that when the anniversary came around last week, we had realized that it was a year. I guess it flies by, but you don't realize how long these things take until it kind of settles in on us.
It's crazy that it's been a year, but take a look at Victor just moments ago. He came out, started his warm-up routine, looking pretty good. Of course, this is the pregame, but here's the situation. What we've learned since the 5 o'clock hour is that he will definitely come off the bench tonight, and he will max out at 24 minutes. In fact, that'll be the minute restriction he has all the way through the All-Star game.
It doesn't look like we'll see him starting until after the break. That'll come on the back end of February, really trying to kind of ease him into this system, ease him into this rotation here tonight.
Here's the thing. The rest of the guys around him, and certainly with the Bulls as well, all these guys are in the prime of the regular season, all well-conditioned. So how good can Vic really be out of the gate?
I know I'll get better as time goes on, and I know I got to be patient with my body and patient with the game and everything like that. I already know that comes, but I'm a competitor. So I know it ain't going to be easy, but a person a long time ago told me if the road you're on is easy, then you're on the wrong road. The expectations, we're going to be slow with him, be patient with him. Is he close to the old Vic? It's no way he could be there after being off 4 seasons, so you have to be patient.
Here's the thing, the Pacers have been very good, considering Vic's been gone this first part of the season, right?
Absolutely.
7 guys averaging double figures. T.J. Warren leading the way at more than 18 a game. Domas Sabonis has been every bit of an all-star this season, and Malcolm Brogdon has really kind of played Vic's role in this stretch leading up to his return tonight.
Here's the situation, really after the All-Star game, maybe not so much now, but 1 or 2 of these guys are going to have to put the egos aside to give Vic some minutes and perhaps, more importantly, some points. If and when he does start after the All-Star game, game. I would expect to see Jeremy Lamb be the one. He's the one coming off the bench. 6th
place in the East right now. They're only 2 games out of 2nd place in the Eastern Conference standings, though, so it's going to be kind of anything goes in this last third of the season.
Much more on this, and don't forget, coming up a little bit later in sports, our Sports Extra Spotlight, Vic on 6, our exclusive, as we take a whole new look at what he's doing with his Dunk Cancer program, partnering with the Anthem Foundation, donating $1,000 per dunk. We also visit Little Red Door Cancer Agency to see how it touches lives that really mean the most. Only on 6, coming up in just a bit here on RTV6. This place is buzzing, no question about it. Programs and ready for action. Hashtag.
We weren't sure if we were going to see this at all this season, but hey, here it is. We're ready to go.
More coming up later in sports. For now, Brad Brown, day first, RTV6 Sports.
Very hopeful. We are Milo's family now, so we need to find him. We are his humans out here in Indiana.
Today marks 1 month since a couple traveling through Indiana was involved in a tragic crash. Now, the wife, who was just 23 years old, was killed. The husband, who is 25, is now recovering. But their dog, who ran from the scene, is still missing. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is in Cloverdale tonight, where volunteers have been searching for weeks.
We're going to leave some socks. Toy.
Gary Cunningham is one of several volunteers putting in hours trying to find a missing blue tick hound mix named Milo. He's been missing since December 29th.
If you're familiar with this particular case, it makes a strong man cry.
Milo was in the car with his owners, Derek and Jenna Monet. They were traveling from Arizona to Maryland, where Derek is stationed in the Air Force. But suddenly they crashed into a parked fire truck, responding to another crash on I-70 near Cloverdale.
Lost his wife, lost his life. You know, his body's racked.
Jenna died from her injuries at the hospital. Derek is now home in Arizona going through physical therapy. But Milo is still missing.
He wants his dog. I mean, his whole life changed in a matter of seconds, so he wants his dog.
Volunteers working with animal confinement and education have been searching near I-70 and the Putnamville exit, where Milo was last seen. The group specializes in the hardest cases.
I'm very hopeful he's out here. We just need to find some signs of him, find out where he's at.
There are a few homes in the area where they are searching, so they are passing out these flyers. They have Milo's picture and information on them, hoping to get new leads.
We won't stop looking. We'll follow every lead. A dog can live forever on just running loose.
They put Milo's toys and Derek's socks on a porch where cat food bowls were recently missing. They also plan to put up trail cameras here and continue searching until they find him and bring him home.
He needs our help as a veteran and just as a human being.
Working for you in Putnam County, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And there have been reported sightings of Milo, but no pictures of him. Volunteers with animal confinement and education say do not approach him if you see him, but instead take a picture and call them so they can bring out their capture equipment. If you have a trail camera in the area, they also want you to review it to see if you see him. And tonight we are now hearing from Milo's owner, Derek, who says he is so thankful for all of the support here in Indiana. As we mentioned, he is currently in Arizona, but FaceTimed with us this afternoon. He says they got Milo for his wife, Jenna, when he joined the Air Force and left for basic training. He says the dog was his wife's best friend.
Every day I hope to get some kind of good news that they've seen him or have some sort of trail on him or something. Because it's, you know, it's like a living part of my wife that I could have back.
Well, if you think you've seen Milo or want to join in on the search, contact Animal Confinement and Education or call 317-809-4939.
Right now, a vigil is underway for the Subway employee who was killed during an attempted robbery. This here is a live look out at the vigil. It's just outside of that Subway near 75th and Shaitland, where the attempted robbery and fatal shooting happened Monday night. And as you can see, many people have gathered, so much so that it requires a megaphone so that everyone can hear the message of those who knew the man who was killed in that attack. People there are holding small candelarias, lighting dying the night and remembering the victim who was killed in this senseless act. The police say that 3 people walked into the restaurant Monday evening dressed in black. Surveillance pictures show them with backpacks and face masks on. Police say 35-year-old Ashok Kumar was shot and killed during that struggle with one of the suspects. And again, tonight, people are honoring and remembering Ashok Kumar at this vigil outside of the subway at 75th and Shadeland. Live pictures that we're showing you right now in that area. Teachers in Indiana who want to undergo handgun training could soon get it through a grant money provided by the state. A bill that passed the Indiana Senate committee this evening would allow for school corporations to use the Indiana Safe Schools Fund to pay for the training. The bill does not mandate a teacher be able to be armed on school property, but teachers can already legally have guns in schools, but only if a school corporation authorizes it. The bill would mandate training for teachers before they are allowed to carry.
How could a class focus on learning seeing their teacher carrying a lethal weapon?
A vote against this bill is a vote to continue to allow untrained teachers to carry guns in our schools and in our classrooms.
The bill passed 10-2. It now heads to the full Senate. And this just in, a bill to restrict holding your phone while driving passed the Indiana House of Representatives today. The bill is intended to crack down on distracted driving in the state. Those who voted against it argue that the government is playing too much of a role in everyday life. The bill now heads to the state Senate, where it is likely to pass. If it makes it to the governor and he signs it into law, it would become illegal to hold your phone while driving. A possible case of coronavirus here in Indiana.
We will show you where and the steps health officials are taking and the latest on the virus around the world.
And I'm Dave First. Once again, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Who's ready for action tonight? Well, clearly it's Victor Oladipo, but in more ways than one. We're talking about dunk cancer coming up in just a bit.
And Dave, we're also all ready for some sunshine. Now, all that cloud cover has certainly kept us a little bit on the chilly side, not only here in central Indiana, but all across the Midwest. There are signs of a winter warm-up, though, in the 7-day forecast. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Silverado 1500 pickups.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
The Porter County Health Department in Valparaiso says a person traveling through northern Indiana may be infected with the coronavirus. We're told that individual has been placed in isolation, is currently under active medical supervision as a precaution. So far, there have been 5 confirmed cases of coronavirus across the United States, but no one has died here. The coronavirus originated in Wuhan, China. 132 people have died from the virus in China, and there are more than 6,000 confirmed cases there. But again, there have been no deaths from the coronavirus in the United States. And today, a plane evacuating 201 Americans from Wuhan, China, arrived at a Southern California military base. This after everyone on board passed a health screening test in Anchorage, Alaska, where the aircraft had stopped to refuel. All the passengers already underwent 2 health screenings in China and were screened twice more in Anchorage by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The Americans will undergo additional health screenings in California and will be temporarily housed during that process. It's unclear how long it will be before they get to go home.
We just can't seem to shake those clouds here the last several days, but at least now we're getting the city lights to come up here and making things look a little bit brighter. Our temperature 33 degrees in downtown, 35 for you in Bloomington, and right at that freezing mark in Kokomo at 32. Now things are fairly quiet on Storm Team 6 radar, but as we look back to the south and west, you can see there is a mixed bag of some precipitation moving across southern portions of Illinois. I think south of Interstate 70 could have a few flurries, light snow showers. Again, shouldn't be a big impact for us in the downtown area. Just a few flurries as we're on the northern fringe of that, with our temperature dropping down into the upper 20s tonight at 28 degrees. TrueCast showing that we'll have the clouds tomorrow morning, but it will be dry as you head out the door. We're going to try and get in a little bit of sunshine here, more than we've had the last couple of days, but still the clouds are going to win out, although I think it will be a dry day for us. Those temperatures are going to take any peaks of sunshine and warm up a little bit here. I think we'll see those numbers at lunchtime at 36. We'll get close to 40 for that afternoon high, and the breeze is going to be very light tomorrow, so not too much of a wind chill that we're going to have to factor in. That certainly helps as well. 38 your afternoon high in Kokomo, close to 40 in Anderson. Madison, Muncie at 40 degrees, 39 in Indianapolis. We'll be just a couple degrees above average for this time of year, 42 in Martinsville, and even the middle 40s around Bedford and Seymour. So really not feeling too bad for the end of January. And as we go into our Friday planner, again, quite a bit of cloud cover, maybe a sprinkle or flurry, and temperatures continuing a little bit of that warming trend as we'll make our way into the lower 40s. Actually, for the weekend ahead, we'll be right around 40 on Saturday, and then we really start to see those numbers jumping here as we go into Sunday, a high of 51. Now, before that happens, we do have the chance for a few light snow showers here, possibly mixing in as we go on Friday, but especially as we go into Saturday, that light, brief, wintry mix. I don't think it's going to be a big impact for us, though. 7-day planning forecast now, put it all together, and there's the warm-up and the sunshine coming together very nicely on Sunday, which coincidentally is Groundhog Day for us. Next best chance for rain, that's coming our way on Tuesday. All right, let's send it to Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Dave first for a big night there. And Dave, we can feel all that energy all the way back here at Studio A.
I can believe it. What an atmosphere here tonight, and it's only just begun as the Pacers take on the Chicago Bulls. Thad Young, by the way, a former Pacer, just warming up behind us. His two sons are out there. We did a story on those two guys a year ago. Still with him, though, still warming up. It's cool to see. Of course, Thad was among the first a year ago when he had that injury to get to Victor Oladipo. Not only is Victor back tonight, so is his dunk cancer program, both professional and personal.
Cheers are the ultimate goal when fighting cancer, namely at Little Red Door Cancer Agency, where the underserved have been given assistance since 1945.
I think it helps all of us to have our perspective in our own lives, right, as we see people who are facing a really uphill battle and do it with grace and dignity and joy and courage.
The Smiles help tell the story. Every June, they host the longest-running pediatric oncology camp in the country, part of being the oldest and largest independent cancer agency in central Indiana.
The fact that they don't let it tear them down, they have the best spirits of any person I've ever met in my life. Right. And it's humbling. It really is.
Enter Victor Oladipo, the two-time All-Star who was able to add to the tone of any room pretty quickly. And while joining the kids to make bracelets, remembers his first encounter with cancer.
One of my elementary school coaches, his name was Richard Brown, Coach Brown. He passed away of cancer when I was like in the 8th grade. And we were one of the last people that he taught, his last class that he taught before he passed away. To see them go through it is just a whole different, I mean, it's tough in general, but to see a little kid who really, it's just tough.
Right, Cole? Yeah. This is about putting words into action as Vic films a new public service announcement, getting the word out about his Dunk Cancer Initiative, where $1,000 are donated for each of his dunks.
Big time.
A partnership with Anthem Foundation, and certainly in support of Little Red Door.
Vic brings a national stage and a celebrity that a tiny grassroots organization has a lot of trouble getting to on their own.
The first word that comes to mind is character. He is just such a great guy, a great role model.
He's here. A program with heart and a player with one too, and maybe a few more fans along the way.
I am now.
Dunking cancer and underscoring hope along the way.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Plus, I really like the bracelet that they gave me.
See that bracelet? That's nice.
But mine looks nothing like theirs. Hopefully, they can fix mine because I was not doing it right.
Vic's plan is to expand the program, other athletes, other celebrities, and kudos and hats off to the Anthem Foundation, providing a $1,000 donation for every dunk. Sophie has a bunch tonight. Well, finally tonight, first and foremost, for one of Vic's other interests, and if you've been watching our Vic on 6 coverage over the last year and a half or so, you know all about his music career. Released an album a year ago last November, and today, well, timing is everything. He released a new single.
You said you'll never leave me. Well, watch me act like I don't care. Watch me act like I don't care at all.
It's entitled IDC, I Don't Care, with the refrain saying, you said you'd never leave me. Well, double meaning perhaps tonight in basketball. A nod to the fans who will embrace Vic big time tonight. Highlights and more at 11. Until then, the News at 6 continues after this.
Well, thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news.
We're back with you tonight at 7 o'clock. World News is next.